In your work with workplace violence governance, what kind of support structures have you found to be critical for staff who have experienced violence or aggression?
So it's a full package. It's a full beginning to end of what we're here to do for our staff. So let me start at the front door of that. As we started to build some toolkits, some policy writing, some technology layered in, we knew that immediately that the incivility and the hostile environments have to start with us and how we treat each other. So, in my particular organization in the workforce violence toolkit, we start with incivility and mutual respect, and that it's not okay to bring on new employees and treat them unkind. Um, Anyone that starts a new job is unfamiliar with the environment and they need a partner, they need a colleague to help navigate with them. And it just shows the love and the compassion we have for each other, and that we're glad you've joined our family and we're going to help navigate that. So, incivility and bullying is non negotiable anymore between any discipline.
Awesome.
Physician to nurse, nurse to nurse, nurse to tech has to be called out unacceptable. So, that started the journey.
Okay.
And then layered through there are some processes of non tolerance, actually discharging patients from care if we need to, how we escalate an incident and bring leaders to help support is embedded, all the way to data collecting. I'm going to talk about that for a moment.
Okay.
Data collecting is vital to understand what you're faced with. We data collect with infection rates. We data collect with retention rates. We have to data collect around violence, not only for internal solution, but external knowledge. Whether it's with our legislators or our communities or our police forces, we have to collect the data. Healthcare professionals sometimes have a hard time pausing and telling the story of incivility and abuse, because we should have tough skin, right?
It's part of
what
the job,
we signed
right?
up for,
Yeah.
but it's really not anymore when you're trying to improve a process. Data collection is important. So we constantly look at that data, and if we see an entity that maybe is not reporting enough, we challenge them because they're not immune to what I'm talking about. And so data collection is crisp in order to build solutions. And I think we have penetrated that pause, and I don't have time to write that incident report, or I don't have time to call my leader. I'm just going to deal with it internally. No, we cannot create solutions without data. So that's part of the toolkit. And then I will tell you, in my current organization, it's very, very important to have workforce violence updates for the staff to know what we're doing. It's one of our internal intranet sites that is constantly refreshed. Very much like when we went through the pandemic, we were constantly have data feed. So workforce violence has to be that front and center for any healthcare organization across this globe right now. You have to have a program, you have to have data feed, and you have to help the staff with solutions. Now, we may not always prevent every single incident, but we have to listen, and we have to be perceived as realizing what it looks like on the front line.
Absolutely. I think it was startling when I read the statistics that 20 to 60% of the workplace violence incidents go unreported. Mm-hmm. Why are some of the reasons they would go unreported? Does it have a lot to do with the fact that they just don't want to stop, or because there is kind of that stigma that
Right.
it's just part of the job?
I don't think they want to stop. They at the end of the day, realize that some of those inflictions of abusive behavior comes from fear of the unknown, and absolutely panic and anxiety that I'm sick or my loved one is sick and you're not doing enough for them. So as clinicians, we have to realize that that's the state that the family member and the patient are in right now, help them navigate it. But it's still not acceptable to be treated that way. So we're getting better. The whole nation's getting better about telling their story, but we can't stop because the solutions are not completely in place. As you mentioned,
Yep.
it's not a felony in every single state. It will be one day, but it's not there yet.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.